Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and our aim in a hand. The host can't see it's Mike and the Minifans. And nobody's seen real MHB. This whole thing is a sham. You never see him pee, it's Mike and the Minifans.
Hey, how are you? Welcome to Mike and the Minifans, the longest hour in recorded broadcast history. I'm joined by a fabulous panel here. A lot of regulars, a lot of great guys, but we're joined by one of the best nipples ever created by God or aliens. Nipples, how are you?
Doing well today, doing well.
Beautiful. We got Birdman. I could do a bird sound, but I just always say caca. And then...
Yeah, no worries, bud. Good to see you. Good to be here.
And we're joined by Beanbag Ron, the host of Mount Kirkmore, the best show on the network.
Thank you.
Better than Quantum Kirk. How are you?
Thank you. That sounds very sincere and flattering. It's nice to be here. Oh, see you, Nips.
Oh, bye, Nips.
Something. Technical difficulties. It's okay. But it's been a crazy week. You know, I always like I can't believe the week started with like them making fun of that producer from Surviving Barstool. Like it feels like that was so long ago, but that was on Sunday, like when they were making producer Rob. But it's been a jam-packed week. You know, Surviving Barstool. Kirk's out. He loses at the dozen. They had the watch along Monday. You know, Mutt's in. Carabas is in. The Drip Lord reinstated, ban lifted early. It was a crazy week, but the biggest thing I think has been Surviving Barstool. I don't know about you guys. Have you been up to date on Surviving Barstool?
Yeah, for sure.
How about you, Nips?
Yeah, surprisingly, I was not sure I was going to watch after Kirk, but I said, what the hell? So I watched, the 6th, then we'll go with the next week and see what happens.
Yeah, and Birdman, are you something you like or not really?
No, I haven't watched it actually.
Okay.
Famously, I just don't follow a lot of Barstool stuff outside of Kirk.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't been super into it, but one cool thing is like a local, like my stepdaughter's like best friend, her mom we were at a party together, and she's like, I totally get Kirk now. I'm watching Surviving Barstool. He's fucking wild. And like she was just like talking my ear off about it. I'm like, oh my God, if you only listen to this show, you'd get it.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the tip of the fucking iceberg with him. But she was super into it, so he might have a new fan already. So
it's funny. Like I was saying this last week, but I think like the one way, right now, the way to grow the show is like you need to get Kirk with different people, like so that people could find Kirk. You know, like get him on Busting the Boys, get him on Son of a. Like I always say this, but it has to come natural, but. Like my sister said the same thing. She's like, we were talking, and she's like Surviving Barstool, and I was like, oh, it got taken down, and she's like, oh, why? I was like, oh, because Kirk said something about Jeff D. Lowe. He's like, oh yeah, he said he was gonna dig up his dead parents and stuff like that.
Well, that's what was funny because when she talked about it was right when it was going to go to pay-per-view, and she's like, oh, it's all happening because he said this about Jeff D. Lowe's family, like I'm gonna blow up your fucking house and all. She's like, he's fucking insane, and I'm like, yeah. Like that's just Kirk, you know.
You know what's funny is my wife doesn't really follow much Barstool or Kirk really, except for out and about. So they were talking about it. So she's all into it now, and she was watching with me, and she's like, "Wow, I've never seen this side of Kirk. Like he's actually really tame on this."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it's been great. I wish he, like, oh, go ahead, Nips. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't really know any Barstool people at all. Like, so just trying to, find out who was who and all that kind of stuff. And they're talking about alliances. I'm like, I have no idea what shows these guys are on. You hear their names on
Right.
KMS, but I have no context of who's with who or what shows they're on or anything other than that. So it's been interesting.
Yeah, I think Will Compton, great guy, like a big fan of him after this. Jersey Jerry is hilarious. Like him telling Gaz, I'm Jerry. You're talking, like it was so funny. Like, are you on Pluto? It's been great, and if you like that kind of reality TV, it's great. But we'll get into the big thing. Kirk backstabbed by Stephen Chay. The riders, the Minifans have starting to attack him, calling him a rat. I think gameplay wise, it was a stupid move because siding with a strong duo, I think it was dumb. Whereas he could have been one of the three with Kirk and Will. I know Ron is a Stephen Chay supporter, so we'll
you could say that. Yeah, sure.
We'll get Ron's take, but I think it was gameplay wise, I think it was a dumb move, and I guess we'll figure it out next week. But I just don't understand not splitting up like a duo like KFC and fights. Like it doesn't make any sense like gameplay wise. But Matt said Ron the rats in the chat for Ron. But what do you think? Ron? What you thought it was a good move by Chase strategy wise?
No, it was a diabolical move, and that's part of the entertainment of the show. That's how the show works. Like this isn't all fun and everyone's all friends. No, this is like backstabbing and fucking people are trying to win for $100,000. Was it the right move? I don't know, but what I like most about Chay is how unflappable he is. I don't think I was really defending him on Twitter. I was just saying this guy is fucking bulletproof. And it's funny to see Justin and everyone go after him because I know that guy just will not fucking be affected by it at all. And people took it as I was defending Chay. I was listening to the producer show today and they were comparing me saying that he's unflappable to Pat Ford trying to protect his brand by not going on the network. And they were like, why didn't Maynard go after Beanbag Ron? What's Maynard going to do? Yell at me? What the fuck? This isn't a real enemy. I'm just fucking having fun on Twitter. Who cares?
I don't know. The producer show was a little rough, a rough list. I love the guys here. It was a kind of a rough list. I should be speaking from experience. Mike and the Minifans is usually a pretty rough listen as well. So, but I don't think it was a good move game wise. It's funny though that the riders and Minifans have united. I know this one rider. He's this flat earther turned on to God. He loves God now because Rico loves God, and he's just all day rats in the chat, rats. So it's but I think Chay did a bad move. I don't know. What do you Neps? Do you guys care about this? I can move on.
Well, the only thing I could say is it seems to me that the play would have been to knock out Tommy Smokes when they had the chance to. It seems like that's a bad person, especially if he's won all these things. And
he was on the other side.
They literally had the. But what I'm saying though is
I agree.
They had a chance in a hole to really take out who effectively now is the strongest person left, and they didn't. I don't think it would have mattered in certain things, but it definitely. I think it's going to really not alter the course of the game, but it's going to be the course of the game is probably going to run through Tommy Smokes now.
Yeah, I'm kind of cheering for Tommy Smokes. I used to hate the guy, but he really turned me around. I think he's a funny guy. And also, we got Don the Jeweler said Beanbag Ron being a Chay guy is the least surprising thing. Wow. Don the Jeweler calling you out. Matt says play should have been to team up with the non-rats. Chay was a rat. again, I think Chay made a bad gameplay move. I think we'll see it because you can't if you're with Kirk and Will, there's no two that are better than the other. Like you have a three-way going in. I think now by doing this, he becomes a target. Fights in KFC will turn on him in a second for each other. Like it was a baffling move. Like it was diabolical in the sense, but it was kind of, I think it was stupid. Like I think it was really a stupid move, but
you're probably right. Another thing I'll say is that if Kirkwood won that challenge against Will at the end, we aren't even having this conversation. Chay's voting out Will, and he's a rat on Will. And are all these Minifans fucking going after Will or Chay for that? No, absolutely fucking not. And if Kirk performed better in that shapes thing, maybe Chay would have been more swayed to keep him around. I don't know.
Wow. Shots fired at Kirk.
Listen, no, I was
Kirk's disability. Shots fired at Kirk's disability. Crazy. Beanbag wrong.
I have a disability too. That's okay. I can say it. Fine.
No, it's true. I think Kirk too. He was actually blindsided. Like I think the move for Kirk would have been, he should have realized Chay's playing both sides, and he should have went to KFC and fights and said, let's get Chay out, and it'll be us four when we go into the merge. We'll be four solid. You know what I mean? Yes. And get Chay out. Let's just get Chay out. We have four solid, and we'll run through these guys. So that's where Kirk, I think, fucked up, and he seemed too comfortable because when he didn't think he was going home. He thought he was puppet mastering the whole thing. So that was the move I think it should have been. What was KFC on during the last tribal council? Probably fucking,
I don't know. KFC, that fucking guy, he looks like a bag of shit.
Yeah,
he is not aged well, man.
No. And KFC, I hate KFC.
He gets a free ride because he's kind of a scumbag, in my personal opinion.
Well, he cheated on his pregnant wife. Like,
right. He's like fucking John Edwards.
Yeah.
Fucking,
He's probably worse than Jeffrey Dahmer. I think Chay was thinking getting Kirk out would get Will to side with Chay, so it's 2-2. No, but that's where it was a stupid move. Like, that's where it's like it was a stupid. I don't know. I think it was a dumb move.
Well, the merge happened right after too, so that's kind of so.
But you kind of saw that the merge was coming when they're like, okay, we're getting one guy off for each team, right? So like,
yeah. One more thing, I do love the like Gig sending those photoshops, fucking hilarious, like absolute gold. Him and the rat Photoshop with the jersey swap pictures, fucking gold.
Yeah.
So shout out to Gig for that.
Gig's great. So actually, great transition. So. Gig was on last week, and not transition that Gig's transitioning. It's just a good transition to the next topic. Actually, I could say we could ask this question. It's on my other thing. Who's most likely to wear makeup? Cullinane, Gig, or Coleman?
Cullinane. Yeah.
Cullinane.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He cares so much.
Ron, who do you think? Most likely to wear?
It's not. Yeah, it's Cullinane. You see him on TikTok nowadays. He's fucking. He's in his glory on that, man.
Third too, so he would use makeup to try to he looks high all the fucking time.
I feel like Dave. He's gonna change his name to David. Like he's gonna say, "I go by David."
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, hey, getting the TikTok views. I mean, it's getting the TikTok views, and the better you look. I'm a Cully guy, so
that's it. Me too.
Nips is a huge Cully guy.
9.5, don't lie.
Yeah.
But we'll get into so Gig, the week started. Kane is able. He's on Mike and the Minifans. He originally was supposed to come on like a month or 2 months ago, but 5 minutes before the show started, he deletes all his Twitter accounts. He deletes everything. He doesn't talk to us. He goes silent forever. Then he's back, and he's back bigger than ever. He's on Mike and the Minifans. He's calling in 2 times. He goes to Just Ducky, sends flowers to the studio. He's going into Papa Gino's doing that
bizarre video. That was
so weird.
That was cringy, man.
So Kane is able, I think, Steve from Gloucester, the Steve from Gloucester, he's almost from the Steve from Gloucester coaching tree, where it's I think he sees his opportunity, Steve from Gloucester's getting this clout. I could come in, but he's coming in so hard. He's going to be on the rundown with VD. It's just like what are your thoughts on this guy? Is I see Freddie Lynn said Kane is unable. I think has potential to be a very hated guy, and like a very hated guy. What do you think, Birdman?
Yeah, I'm thinking like I kind of want to let it play out because like he could become a character or he could just flame out. But like I never saw Stephen Gloucester being what he is now because I fucking love Stephen Gloucester. Like I was on Mike and the Minifans with him that day, and that was the first experience I had. I'm like, oh, he seems like a good guy. His fucking shows on the network. I listened to them all like back to back at work because I put them off for a while. The guy is a fucking masterpiece, and it's only Kirk Minahan show that would find people like that. Because like, I actually like reached out to Coleman. I'm like, you need a guy to come on, I'll come on. And like since him, like Steve, I'm like, I can't go back on. I cannot match the craziness and the hilarity that is Steve.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't go back.
But it's funny, right? It's funny, right? Because like, so Kane is able comes in here, like this guy's a legit psychopath. We were saying this about Steve from Gloucester, but Steve from Gloucester has, I think, really won the hearts and souls of a lot of people. Like his the Consistency podcast is great.
Yeah,
I think he is. Like Steve from Gloucester is like in on the joke, so to speak. Like you can make fun of him, he busts balls, he's a paisan, you know.
I'm not a paisan.
Yeah, he's a paisan, he's a great Sicilian guy. But then I think Steve from Gloucester now, Kane is like, I'm gonna be the next Steve from Gloucester.
100%. 100%.
Right?
He's playing copycat on it. You know, sending stuff to the studio. Like Steve from Gloucester sent that fucking crazy note, and now Kane is sending fucking flowers to the studio, making weird Papagino's videos. It seems like he's trying to ride the coattails on that.
Yeah,
because he's trying to be like a hater, but he's trying to be on. I don't know if it's a shtick or if he's like, you know, these are my real opinions. Sending Matt says send flowers on air to make sure it goes well. Copycat serial killer. I think Kane is able. I want to see it play out, but I'm a little bit worried about this. Little bit worried, like that maybe even for himself too, because he starts off with kamikaze in his account before. Like it's like he's like, no, I can't do this because I'm gonna be. He's like, it's gonna be,
which is exactly what Steve did.
Right? Yeah, it is. Right. It is true. It is true.
Crazy.
Nips, do you have anything on this?
Well, no, I was just say that the first experience I saw was, you know, when Kane is able to put that first video up and he's like, oh, you know, Coleman's trash and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, wow. It seemed odd that all of a sudden it popped up on my feed. I don't remember, you know, I don't remember following him or something like that. But all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's pretty harsh. And then, you know, it started being talked about. You know, I don't know if he pushed it or who pushed it, but all of a sudden it was like, whoa, let's kind of see where this is going to go. And it's definitely, it's going.
Don the Jiller says Kane is sketch. I think too, it's like in the past with like Steve or Cullinane, they probably understood the world a little bit better, where like someone like this probably wouldn't get as much like clout or whatever, much exposure. Whereas the new guys are they're grasping for anything, and like now their stories all stink that their go-to stuff is all Minifan stuff now. Like especially this week, you could tell. But I don't know. I like to see it play out, but it's kind of like the Steve from Gloucester consistency spot is now.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing on the network right now.
But now it's like, is it like issuing a new era of these like sleeper cell Minifan crazy guys are like, if Steve from Gloucester can do it, I can do it too, you know. So
I say let it go. I mean, like we've been saying, let Kane play it out. Like, let's see where this goes. But it could be the next big thing because I never saw that with Steve from Gloucester when I, you know, first interacted with him. But look at him now. The guy's a superstar.
I know. I was kind of out on Steve from Gloucester, you know, with the letter and coming in and like kind of begging for attention. But like you said, like he's just like a sweetheart now in the Minifan world. Like he's coming on Mount Kirkmore tomorrow, and you know, I've had discourse with him, you know, on DMs, and he seems like a really fucking nice guy. So
like the thing about Kane is Abel is like I feel like if you're busting his balls, he might be like fuck you, like he might take it but maybe you just don't know the guy yet. But
and he's
like,
got this look to him too that I can see in the future being on the news, and it just it sketches me out a little bit.
And then like he calls, but he has been like to give him to credit Kane for Kane is Abel's like he has been like the focal talking point of the week pretty much like his calls like he is a focal point.
He's been brought up, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know, but so the Kane is Abel saga, I don't think it's over. I think it's just beginning, and maybe the Kane is Abel Steve from Gloucester crossover consistency podcast episode that could be one of the best. Maybe Kane
Or
before he
they'll be
goes
on
into
the
the
show.
studio, he should go on the consistency pod. So
That would be electric.
I think that I was originally, and I think it's not a unique idea, but so more towards Steve Snell. But I'm wondering if Kane is Abel is going to be more Steve Snell than Steve from Gloucester being Steve Snell, because I sat through all the Steve Snell episodes, and I was like, well, I at least got to listen to it. And that's the way it was with Steve from Gloucester. I'm like, he does 10 minutes, perfect time, lets him do his rant, gets in, gets out, and
Steve Snell is a site like that guy was calling the FBI because about mail or something. Like, see, that's the kind of guy. It's like you're fucked up.
I think Steve Snell is actually like truly unhinged because he just disappeared. He might be actually be incarcerated right now. Like, I don't know.
Killer Kowalski and the chat says the show could use some hot takes and not just slap ass on how great Steve from Gloucester is.
Hey, listen, we're having fun here. Come on, man. Don't ruin our vibes. Don't bring us down.
Don't bring us down.
We're doing hot takes on Kane is Abel. We said he's fucking a psycho guy. That's hot. That's a hot take.
He does seem to be a psychopath. So
we did Kirkmore of Minifan Flameouts last week, and we totally missed on Steve Snell. He was an honorable mention, and he's right up there as a top pick.
Yeah. I'm gonna say he's definitely incarcerated for sure.
Kane said, "Wait till my sound is better." That's another thing too. We need Kane on the show when he has better sound because his sound was just brutal last week. It was tough to deal with.
Yep.
But I would like to get. He's always. I think he's welcome with good audio. We'll get him on. We'll see if he can come get into the studio. We'll see. I want him in but I want to see if he can. I really would like to see him in because I think it'd be nice. And it's funny. Kirk thought he was sneakers when he calls in and says,
I saw that today. I was like, I wonder if are they connected at all? Do they like?
No, I think Sneaks is kind of like on the outs of the show. Like I don't think he's like listening too much right now. But speaking of Nips, Kane is Abel said, the theater was half full or it wasn't full at all. You were there. Can you confirm or deny? Was it full?
Well, no, it wasn't. But the way you got to look at it is they got 100 people the day before, and to get to Maynard is, it's unless you're from Metro West, Maynard is a haul. It was an hour for me, easy hour for me, and it's only like 15, 16 miles the way the crow flies. It was over, an hour to drive out there, and you just. But the crowd at the theater was smaller than 100. It was definitely small. You could see it was smaller than 100, but it was a good crowd. People were chit-chatting in the lobby beforehand. A few of us were over at a bar beforehand, hanging out, having some dinner and stuff like that, and then going over to the theater. It was a perfect size. It would have been, I think with 100 people, it would have been, it would have been louder, but yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good time. A good size people, you could talk to everybody.
That video, that Minislam chant was, it was fucking great.
That was tough.
That was a little culty.
That was tough. And yeah, it was about as awkward as you could be because we're like, oh, so, so you look and Gus is up there, shooting from behind Kirk, and then he's trying to do it, and it's like, okay, well, we could try.
How was it like? How was Coleman and Gus? Were they like? I know Gus. They said you were right there, like verifying purchases when they came in and when people came in.
No, we got in there. We were the Q&A, the question and answer was good. But when we got there, I just, I've hung out with a Gus just way before he got the job and everything. Actually, I hung out with him before Portland, played golf with him and stuff like that. So
you're kind of like a VIP.
It was just him and I talking.
You're a VIP. Like you probably, you could have, if you didn't have they would have let you in like through the back door, right?
I don't know. But,
I was gonna say you were going regardless, right?
No. If I didn't win it, I wasn't going.
Oh. Yeah,
no. If I like, it's if I didn't get it, I'm not going. I know some people do that, but
wouldn't you have to be a psychopath?
But it was.
Killer Kowalski actually said a Nips and Augustus have kissed before, so I just wanted. Have you done it? Have you kissed Augustus?
No.
Okay.
No.
What were you saying, Birdman?
I forget.
You said some people be psycho to do that.
Oh yeah, to sneak in if you didn't win the contest and stuff. Because they're like, the caller said like, oh, it's a public place, you can just go in, but like that'd be fucking weird as shit to do. I don't know.
Unless you're from there.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a fucking pain in the ass to get to.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you live down the road, like if you didn't win the contest, why are you going? But
well, the theater was closed that day too, so there was no reason.
Right.
There would be no reason for anybody else to be there at that time.
Okay, yeah,
and it's just it did. I was talking to Gus for a minute, and Kirk came around the corner, and I was like, oh, Christ. Like, and then Heather and I were sitting down towards the front, and all of a sudden Kurt comes down with Kate and Harry and sat right down in front of us, and I was like, damn it.
Did you get any vibes going there that it was
just,
that Kirk was going to get eliminated on that episode, and that he was just
but he didn't get eliminated on that one.
No. But I
no, he
thought
didn't get eliminated.
Like a funny move by him to do that.
No, actually, it was awesome. I mean, it was, yeah.
Was Gus high? Roscoe said Gus looked high.
I don't think so. I think he looked like Gus.
Yeah.
Give me a wink if he was. He looked like Gus. Any like inside info from that time? Like, you think was it run smoothly? Did the producers fuck anything up? Was it?
It was seamless. Wow. Seamless from a technology standpoint, everything. The issue was obviously Coleman having to run back to Waltham to pick up the box of merch. But like Kirk said, hey, we're going to start at a certain time, and Gus was like, we're going to be ready to roll right on time. And Kirk did the Q&A and stuff, and then it was like 8:00, boom, right on time, not a single hitch.
Seems like a fun time
too.
Seems like a fun time, like watching the Surviving Barstool, the crowd laughing, screaming, the laughs, crying, all that stuff. It seemed like a good time. But we'll get into Coleman now, because Gus had an okay week. Coleman, though, this week, he went to his friend's Christmas party, right? Like who brings your friend
to a
like
work?
You're bringing it a work Christmas party, right. Like he brings his buddy, quote air quotes. So is this Coleman's boyfriend? Who knows?
Yeah.
Then he has this guy Dick. So Coleman's going to his friend's Christmas party. Like when you bring your +1 or significant other, he's going with the boys. Then he gets Dickens, this guy that comes and sets up his bed for him on whatever. Got his number. Gets this guy's number. I don't know. Is there a pattern here? Because, first of all, would you go to your friend's Christmas party? Like, I think
he insinuated. I thought he insinuated that it was his friend that was a girl, and that he was like her +1.
No, it was a guy. Wasn't it a
they're
guy?
boys.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's very odd. That is very odd.
It was
And
like
if that's the way he
speed or
swings,
something.
that's fine. But I mean,
No. Even though like you don't work there, why would you go to your buddy's work party?
Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you like?
You know?
Wouldn't you feel like? Go ahead, Nips.
I was just say, I don't know. I mean, if I've got a friend and he's like, "Hey, come to my work party. It's gonna be open bar." Back when I drank, I would be like, "Okay, it's gonna be open bar. Sure,
Maybe.
why not?"
Yes.
If it's like
fuck
that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't even like going to like a work party for my wife's stuff like that. Like just a random friend and you don't know anyone there. I don't know. I'm pretty antisocial in those kind of things, but yeah, that's a wild
I think it
move.
must be a pretty unique context because I
Well,
can't
no, he's going
imagine me doing that.
He's going to the boys. Him and the boys are going to the Christmas. Like he's crashing his buddy's Christmas party or whatever. But then,
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe it was his boyfriend. Maybe not. Who's to know? But then this guy Dickens is coming to set up his bed. Like you're a 23-year-old guy.
That's
Like,
pathetic.
a bed from Wayfair, and he's like, I don't have tools. Gus is like, you could get tools for fucking $20 instead of paying like $100 to set it up.
But I can almost guarantee a bed frame doesn't require any tools. Like
You
they all
only
just
need an
snap
Allen
together.
key.
I was just
You
gonna
need an
say
Allen
just
key.
Allen wrenches. Allen
Maybe
wrenches,
an
that's it.
Allen wrench, and
Yeah.
everyone has one, but like
No,
most
it
of them
comes
just like
usually
snap
the
together.
Wayfair shit, the Wayfair stuff, like the Allen key, like they're all like put it together yourself. Like you need the Allen key to go through,
And it
if you need
comes
a
with
screw-
it though. The Allen
It
key's
comes
like
with it.
taped to it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
and then he's like,
pathetic,
I didn't
but-
want. And Matt says this. He goes, he didn't want to spend the money on tools when he does. And it's like, well, what you're spending $100 for some random dude to come in, like, and a bed frame. Don't like. I'm not the most handy guy. A bed frame is simple to put together.
Simple.
Like it's a simple thing.
100%. There's no bed frame in the world that's that hard to put together.
I agree, but you gotta understand, like this kid's young. He's obviously grew up with some money. Like that's kind of
I was gonna
normal
say,
for like kids.
He had
that
everything
age now.
done for him. So
Yeah, I mean that's it's.
But don't you think
so
like
you
you're
have an
living on
app on
your
phone,
own?
Thumbtack, and you just get a guy to come over like nothing, and he's got money, so it's like fuck it.
That's one thing. Like
he's
I would
23
I
years
wouldn't do
old.
it.
Is this his first time living alone?
It must
I
be.
think he left.
You know,
I think he
truly-
like went
truly
to school
alone?
together, and I think it was dorms, and he went to school in dorms and
yeah,
that kind
but
of stuff.
this is
But
his
like,
first like.
Yeah,
first time
he's
place.
he has some means. It's his first apartment that he's ever had by himself. 7 hours away, 6 hours away from home. If you got if you're just like, screw it, it's easier for me just to pay somebody to do it. Now, it is strange, that whole thing, but with the fact that he
think he's
didn't want to
like-
have the movie on.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Do you think he's making up this? Do you think he's making up this name Dickens? He's trying to do like a Steve Robinson thing. Dickens and Elias have never been in the same room. You think he's like trying to play into like, oh, I'm this in the closet guy for like, like
That's a
because
weird
it's
first
almost-
name.
it's almost too like perfect. Like it's almost too perfect. Like, oh, everyone calls him gay. Then he has this guy named Dickens that he called to build his bed, and it's like, is it a bit? Like Matt's saying it's a bit. It's like
There's
I don't know. It's,
there's not one
it's
person in the world whose name is actually Dickens.
Coleman is by. It's 2023. You gave
You
maybe.
bastards.
No one's gay bashing.
I've been
No.
trying to figure out Dickens. Is that I've been trying to think Dixon as a last name, or I've never heard of Dickens as a last name. Never mind a first name.
Yeah, no,
And then
exactly,
to get
not
his
first
number,
name.
like also too, he's like he got Dickens's number. Like who gets the guy that sets up your bed frame's number? Like
Well, he probably wanted to keep him in his back pocket if I can build more shit for him.
people are I don't know that maybe he's just a young guy. Dickens Zerbut. Dickens Zerbut. It's not. I don't. It just like I don't know. Get a guy to build a bed frame. It's even like if it's not for like some porno reasons. It's like it seems like you should build that bed frame yourself. I don't know. It's
Yo,
But
He's
he
saying- and
claimed
it
he
is
was so
like-
busy.
but but what is he busy doing then?
No,
Like,
no,
this
that's
is-
what I'm
watching
saying.
that
He's no idea. He's
show.
watching a
He's
movie.
watching that movie that he couldn't
Yeah.
watch with him.
Yeah, he's watching Seinfeld. Like he's watching Seinfeld, laughing it up with Dickens. Probably saying, "Oh, I work for Barstool."
What was he watching? Like some movie with preteen
Lockers.
sex in it or something? Lockers.
Blockers, yeah, he's
Blockers,
watching
John
the
Cena.
Lockers.
blockers.
I think
Yeah.
that whole thing came up because they were talking about John Cena with Carabas. So I don't even think he would have told that story if John Cena never came up.
I don't know. I gotta say though, and like maybe this is like the stories that they're bringing up, like, especially this week, like they are a bit rough. Like I don't think they're still like the best things that they're bringing up is like Minifan or Barstool related. Like the actual stories that gets, I don't know. I think they have been rough. I think they're doing a good job, but I think like this week was almost like you're pulling teeth a bit with some of these stories. I don't know.
Yeah, like that work party story just went nowhere. But I thought Gus
With
had
the
a good
work
week.
party, I was just like, who goes to your friend's work party? It's like a
that's
date.
weird.
That was like, this is where it's like, is he trying to play into the in the closet thing because he sees it's getting like I'm trying to say like a conspiracy thing.
Getting some momentum. Yeah.
Maybe it's more making him more comfortable towards getting out. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm actually dead serious too.
He got it out of Tommy Quinlan. So
yeah,
that's
Yeah.
true. But no, the producers are doing great, you know. But yeah, also like he's getting sad that he's blocked by Caroline. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, Caroline's such a fucking loser, you know. It's like, and I think it's weird for her to be blocking all these people. But
hold on, wait, are you bashing Caroline?
Caroline, yeah. Well, I think
I don't give a fuck.
I actually think that Caroline gave gig tips on transitioning. So I don't know. But
okay.
I'm just kidding. So
that was good.
That was not that was better. Yeah, I could have used a couple more laughs from you guys instead of being like, oh no. But okay, Coleman, you know, maybe he's gay, maybe he's not, but also Gus. Gus is in charge.
Good. That was good. That was a great transition.
But
go ahead.
So Gus now is in charge of two things. He's in charge of the Subway event in Delaware, and he's in charge of booking a guest. I think these both are not getting done.
No,
I think there's almost like under a 10% chance that's going to happen if Gus is fully in charge. What I'm here for, like, this is the part I like. I want to see Gus fail in this because I think it'll be hilarious. Him fail because you know Gus is going to be like, oh, I got this. Then last minute it's going to be like, oh, actually, you know, everything imploded. Like, do you think the Subway or a guest is going to be booked by Gus? We'll go around the room. I'll start with Nips. He's on Gus's side probably.
Yeah, the guest thing, it just depends on what level of guest Kirk wants. He can find something, but when you're trying to figure out what would be a guest that Kirk would want, I mean, you know, Kirk's also going to sit there and go, no, you know, for every single one, you know, just to fuck with them, you know, just literally to fuck with them.
Yeah, I agree.
And you know, when
there's a way to quantify, like, okay, this is a guest and this is just some like random guy, you know, like a guest I would has to have some.
Yeah, but you got to think.
I would say, go ahead.
I was going to say, think about it this way: put yourself in Gus's shoes right now. Kirk says to you, "Book me a guest in 15 minutes." Right now.
Oh, yeah, that's almost impossible.
Almost.
You know, and you know,
he should have imagine he reached out to Kelly Martin and Kelly Martin got him a guest in 15 minutes, and then he like got someone, and then he's like, "Oh, it's Kelly Martin." That would have been diabolical. Like that would have been crazy. But
as far as Subway goes, I hope it happens. I won. So
I'm giving it almost under 10% chance. This is going to be because, like, I think Coleman, like, because producers in the past have like promised the world and a lot of stuff, like the golden ticket, or like Cullinane said, everyone that went to Plymouth gets something, and these promises kind of went under deliver, but they probably fall on the producer to fulfill them. Coleman seems like a guy that he's going to fulfill the promises. I could see Gus being like, forgetting about it, something comes up, and then he's like, oh shit, yeah, I have to book the Subway in Delaware, you know. So we'll see, but maybe he gets it booked. But well, how about you, Birdman? What do you think?
Subway, the chances seem low. I hope it happens. It seems like a really funny thing, but I mean, and the way Gus put it, it sounds like Tiffany or whatever is like she's down
Tiffany.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. As far as him booking a guest, I can't imagine anyone with any notoriety taking Gus seriously. Like, I love Gus. I think he's hilarious, but he is such a strange human being.
Yeah.
So,
So you're
well,
saying
as long as they don't talk to him face to face, maybe he's got a good chance. I think as soon as he like shows himself, it might be rough, but it depends who he's going for too. Frank Stallone might be too much, which is saying something. So
Yeah, I just think like I think there's I don't know, it's it's like the Subway. I want to see how Gus spins it to like when he fucks it up to be like, oh, but you know we can go like he's not gonna be able. I want to see how he spins it, but how about you, Ron? You think he's got it in him? He's gonna book a guest.
Yeah.
He's gonna go to.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
you're
no,
saying
no, he's not booking any guests.
No.
but you're thinking Subway. It's not-
Yeah, no, I think the Subway thing, he has a better chance at doing. Do I think he 100% will? No, but like Nips was saying, I mean, he's almost in a lose-lose situation with this whole guest thing. I do feel for him in that because
Yeah, the guest is
you
tough.
know, yeah, when he's trying to get big names or well, I don't know, like Frank Stallone, he's probably gonna go like through hoops and stuff to like, you know, talk to agents or whatever. I don't know. To try to get him on. So he probably spends a lot of time doing that, which is less attainable than like someone, you know, like a random author that Kirk likes or something like that, which is probably easier. So if he just like broadens his scope of guests that aren't fucking, you know, related to A-listers or Trump, you know, it could be a little easier for him. But I think he's kind of scrambling and he's a little he's in trouble in that regard.
Yeah, it is tough because I wouldn't even like how do you even book a guest like you start.
well,
Someone said
there's-
in here he's like reaching out to people on his personal Twitter account or
Well, there's-
something. Like I guess you have to use the show to do that.
You got to do whatever you can, I think.
yeah, there's a huge library of guests that Kirk asked Dave to book that he never booked. So
Yeah.
like he should go back and just listen to old episodes.
Yeah, but would you? I was going to say, but in that second, you know, you're going to try to remember everything that Dave was always like lock, even though you knew it
Yeah.
wasn't a lock.
Right.
And
You know, just
who
trying to
knows if Kirk
recall
even has
just
interest
one
in it.
thing.
Yeah.
And that's just it. Is Kirk keeps Gus at such an arm's length. You know, him trying to figure out who can I get that Kirk is gonna like, and like I said before, Kirk will just sit there and go, no,
Yeah, it's
no,
a tall
even though
task.
maybe
He has to just like put the guest on, you know, like oh I got here you go. Oh, someone's calling or just like he has to like blindside Kirk almost like oh look I got you a guest, but I don't think he'll do it.
I think he's just like tormenting Gus this whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, he fucking definitely is.
Yeah. It's so funny to
I
watch.
want Subway to be a disaster. Like I feel bad for the people that like won, but I think just Gus fucking everything up
Mhm.
would be awesome. Like somehow they have to pay he gets it done and then somehow they have to pay Subway like $5,000 like or something like that to go there when you could have just like you could have just all shown up. You know, it's like how many people? 20 people. Like you could just show up there yourself, right?
You just like watching the world burn, don't you, BA?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I just think this is fun. Like I like when Kirk.
No, I hear
like,
you
my
saying.
favorite part of the show is Kirk making fun of people and
Yeah.
making fun of the Minifans, making fun of people for Barstool, making fun of people. It's like this is like it's perfect chaos where he's gonna fuck something up. And so enough about Gus. How about let's see. We'll get in this. The Drip Lord, Pat Ford, his ban is lifted. He said he had a 4-month ban or whatever, lifted after less than a week.
4 years.
Was it 4-year ban or 4-month? 4-year?
I believe it was years.
It was a ban,
Oh.
and then once he put the video out, he said 4 years.
4 years. I thought it said 4 months. But then he's on the show today, and then they're joking around like, what's Stephen Chay's like background? And then Pat Ford is like, oh, well, I think he's of Asian descent, and he says it like so seriously. It's like, is Pat Ford? It's like, do you think the ban should have been in place for Pat Ford? Do you think it was lifted too early? Like, because I was talking to some other people, they were like the trolls. I was talking to the trolls, and they're like, I'm sick of these guys like Pat Ford and stuff coming in studio. Like, just put in Manansky, bring in Blind Mike, Mutt, and Karabas, and do the show that way. But what do you think? I kind of like Pat Ford in, but do you think the band should have stayed?
What was it? Can you remind me what the ban was for?
He had his son like putting like things into shapes
into a block.
Oh,
into
yeah,
a block,
okay.
and be like, "Oh, my son could do this," and then
he's got a little bit of a smugness to him. So
Ford?
I could, yeah, for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
There was also times where like 20 minutes would go by in today's show, and it was like, holy shit, he's there. Like, he didn't say a fucking word, he was gone. So I think like his allure.
I think that's why Kirk likes him.
Yeah, maybe he just shuts the fuck up and stays out of the way. But...
And even like I think Jeff D. Lowe, like he's like
Pat Ford Day.
The Pat Ford Day, and then he has this whole bit with the cereal. Oh, I dropped my cereal, and how long did that take him to put the cereal on the floor, like to spell out Pat Ford Day? Like,
I bet tragically long. I'm gonna say
it probably took
tragically long.
Probably like 10-15 minutes. I think it was pretty like organized. Well, like, I don't know. It's like Pat Ford, should the ban is like let's let one ban. Should the ban have stayed? I don't know. Because I said last week, I was like, is Kirk's therapist gonna talk about you like the dozen? Talked him out of going into the dozen. It's like, are you like Pat Ford in studio, or are you just gonna let him in? So I don't know. I think I think the ban. I think it should have been at least a 1 month ban. When you're attacking someone's disability.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, is he that valuable on the show where the producers can't just find another rando on a Friday? Like, I don't get it.
I think that's why they brought him back, to kind of prove that. Like, we can lift the ban because he's boring.
Yeah, are people not reaching out or anything? Like, I don't know. When Cullinane was in, it seems like he was getting a random guy in every Friday.
Yeah. Well,
I like that.
They got me.
Yeah, they got me too. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like that was one of the critiques from like the trolls, the haters, are like fuck this map. It's almost. I think it's almost like get new people in if you can. I guess it's harder than you think. Actually, Kane is able. Said Steve from Gloucester has blocked him, so that's breaking news.
That doesn't surprise me. We support Steve.
Steve from Gloucester.
Dante says Steve from Gloucester think you're crazy. You should look into it. I think this is about Kane from Maple.
So
it's like Pat Ford. I like the guy, the Drip Lord, but is the Drip Lord like is a shtick? Is it? I don't know.
I feel like today it kind of died. It was like super boring, but
especially the Stephen Chay thing when he was like, "Oh, well, Stephen Chay is Asian. He's Asian, right?" And Kirk's like,
that was probably the highlight on the show for him. But
it was funny. But yeah, I guess it was funny. It was a funny moment. I laughed at that. But that's a Drip Lord, Pat Ford, baby. So.
He seems like a great guy. I don't want to say anything bad about him.
No, it's nothing about it. It's just like it's like as a fan, like we're all fans. It's like you're a fan. It's like, is this the show? Like, because like this week was kind of like, even the producer show said it. It was kind of like a lull week, maybe because of the like. So like Kirk lost in Surviving Barstool. He lost to the dozen. It's a low energy week, right? So,
well, here's the thing though. So you bring in like originally when Montante came in, he was good. And so he kept coming on, every few weeks. Is the Drip Lord on that level? I don't think so.
No.
But
like Montante has me listening to Jerry Callahan's show and the first time forever.
Yeah, Montante's great.
Yeah, I think he's on Riot. So like, I think he's way more entertaining. But like I said, I love Pat Ford, but especially today, it was like, is he even there?
Yeah,
and then I don't know. I think
Tim
his thing
Riggles
is kind of phasing out.
Tim Riggles, great guy. I like him on the show, but
I love Tim.
Yeah, he should either be there by himself or with someone like a more
I
rambunctious
also
personality.
see an episode where it's just Kirk and the producers, right? Because Kirk did a lot of shows, just him and Cullinane, right? I'm pretty.
That's a good point.
Right? There hasn't been a Kirk and just
They do
a
a
producer.
lot?
I think he did a.
No, I don't think he did a
decent-
lot.
He did a
Didn't do a
couple,
lot,
but
maybe.
not a lot. No.
Not with
Maybe
Cullinane, I
I'm
don't
No,
think.
not a
No,
lot.
He said
Just
at the
think about it,
beginning when he
there's-
hired
for the-
Cullinane, he's like, I'm not doing shows alone with you. And it was
I
like a
thought he did.
joke.
Maybe,
But it was-
He
it
did,
was-
he did a few, but
He would
Not
do
a
like
lot.
strictly YouTube shows.
Yeah, but it
with
was-
Cullinane.
I thought
Yeah,
he did.
but it was
like,
it was
he's
it
done
was
more
Mike
with
Mike Carabas. It was Mike
Yeah.
Mike Carabas, and then it
I
was Mike
thought
Mike
once-
Keller.
I thought once
Clemmer.
a week. I thought once a week he would do with just him and Cullinane, like for
I
a
don't
while.
think so. I
Nope.
don't think
Am
that's
I
true.
wrong? I could
No.
be wrong. When
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
I don't think he mentally could handle that.
Maybe not. Maybe I would see Kirk and just the producers. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
with two producers, I feel like that's like more realistic now.
yeah.
Just
Yeah, for
him
sure,
and
because-
Coleman, I feel it'd be like, yeah, like 20-minute episode. But with the two of them, like he could bash on Gus and then talk to Coleman, and yeah, could be a show for sure.
Oh, definitely. Kirk can make a show
Kane-
with anybody.
Kane is attacking
Yeah.
the chat
Absolutely.
right now. This is great.
Where is that
Um,
motherfucker?
He's in the chat. He's
Actually,
all
yeah,
in.
I'm not-
Kane is all in, man. He's all in. I want to see what week 2 of Kane for Mabel has in store. My highlight of the week, the Juan caller. I think the Juan caller is slowly.
Yes.
I think he's going up the ranks, and like the Juan calls always make me laugh, and I think it's the perfect amount. Like he doesn't call in too much.
Yeah.
But the Juan caller, I think, is
It's
top
been
dog
what,
right now.
like 6 months since we last called him.
I think he called in a few months ago, but
Yeah.
the Juan calls are always memorable. So I
That's
think
right. Yeah, it's like Harry called him a certain thing. I think it was last time.
Oh, Juan, yeah.
yeah.
Juan,
I was like, I thought you were like
Harry-
W-O-N. I was like, who the fuck is Juan?
Juan.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
What
Oh,
am I not?
he's fucking hilarious.
Am I not saying it
Harry's
properly?
piping his wife right now. so.
Harry piping his wife, and I think the last time he called, he said Harry was trying to get him fired or something
Yeah.
like that too. Yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
deported.
yeah.
deported. And like a caller like that, they have a lot of material, so it's
Yeah.
like it lasts a while. So the Juan caller, I think highlight of the week for
It
me.
makes me laugh. I'm a landscaper for people, wealthy people. So it's like it makes me laugh because I put myself in that position in a
Yeah.
weird fucking way.
That's funny. Yeah, Juan. I think it's the last thing are a couple more things. I have Mutt versus Menners. So I don't know if I thought Menners I don't think is here today, but I usually save the Menners stuff to the end. But Mutt saying he won't go on Minifandom. Then he's too good for the network. Then he said he'll go on when Jared goes on. It's like Coleman even said this. Mutt had a bad week this week on the show. And it's like, you know what, Mutt? Like Kirk's been on the network, Jeff D. Lowe's been on the network, like all these guys have been on the network. If the CEO is asking you to go a Minifandom for an hour, like why can't you do that? Like I don't get especially like the Minifans are probably the number one subscribers to the Mutt Stack or whatever. It's like,
Right.
why are you too good for Minifandom? Like he's done it with like Kirk's been on, Blind Mike's been on, like all these guys have been on. So I
You
don't
got
know.
nothing to lose. It's not really degrading.
Yeah.
It's just fucking who cares? It's like
Yeah,
going
just
into the
people
ether.
bullshit.
Like just come have fun. Like, whatever.
But also to be like, I'll go on with if you go on Jared, and it's like, what the fuck is that? Like, are you like a little girl, or are you like a child? It's like you have to go on with your friend Carabas because you're scared of Menners.
No, he
like
thinks he's better than.
Yeah.
And I like Mutt, but that's just how it comes off.
Oh, I love
But it's-
Mutt, but for some reason he thinks because he was on the radio in Boston, it's like and now unemployed, he can't go on a fucking.
He's been unemployed for a year and he can't
I
go
know.
on Minifandom with Menners. I'm sure he got a few more Mudstack subscribers from that.
He needs to come back. He got
Good call, Minifans. So I think I'm down on Mutt for that. I'm always a big Mutt guy, but it's like I have the CEO's back here. Even Kirk was like, "Why won't you go on with them?" He's like, "Oh no, I don't." It's like an hour. Like you do.
Right.
it's an hour out of your day. You can't go on and get the Menners to grill you. It's a great interview.
Yeah. He's a fucking
like I
radio
get
guy.
not
He'd have
coming
fun
on.
with it.
I get him not coming on like shows like Mike and the Minifans and these kind of things, or Quantum Kirk or that, but like the Minifandom with the CEO, like that's a big that's an honor.
Yeah.
That's an honor. Ron, Kane is wondering how your recovery is going. He's
trying to get on my good side now. All right, I like him. Well, it's going very well. Thank you.
Mayo's in the chat from Disney, and he's saying, Kane, the blue Yeti mic, did he purchase it or not? Kane, watch Nichols Worth of Free Advice, the episode with DC and Mayo, where they go over recommendations for microphones for Minifans.
That's what I'm using right
episode. Now. It's a Beanbag listen to it. It's a great episode on the network. Great episode where they review microphones.
Bullshit. I did listen to that, and I have a Blue Yeti now because of that. And that's not bullshit. I mean, that sounds pathetic as fuck, and that was a couple years ago, I know, but yes, that did do some good.
I remember when like the prank calls were going on, and that's when it was COVID, and all these guys started doing their radio shows from home. My idea was to call in and be like, "Hey, I know you're doing the radio show from home, but Nichols Worth of Free Advice. Have you thought of using the Blue Yeti microphones?" But I never had the guts to do it. But I thought that would have been a good one. But that's it. Yeah, I think I don't know, Mutt. I think a bad move. Well, can you address how dumb Montante is? Just begging from clout from Kirk. I don't think he's dumb. I don't know. Montante is. I like Montante. Montante on the show. I think he's after Blind Mike and of course Steve from Gloucester. He's like the next best third chair on the show.
Yeah, I think so. I get excited when I hear he's coming on. For sure.
Yeah, and his story
Gloucester in that tier.
No, yeah, I just skipped the Paisan. I have to give him
I couldn't ignore that.
I was gonna say, just let that one fly.
I think it's Blind Mike, Steve from Gloucester, Montante, the three Paisans. They're the best. They're the best third chairs.
The Italian stallions.
That's how it says.
How do we feel about how Carabas's performance was? What was it, Wednesday or
I think it's good.
Or Wednesday or Tuesday. I don't know.
I think he picked up right where he left off.
He doesn't listen to the show though.
I know. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. But I feel like I don't know. He's just as entertaining. I think because I don't think he ever was super into the show when he was on it more regularly. But
that's true.
No, but I think it's just him and Kirk have a good back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Carabas is like always. I like. He's almost a tune out for me. Like it's like, oh, this guy Carabas on. I don't know. I had nothing against the guy. It just always thought he's always kind of boring. Doesn't listen to the show. Like I don't know. I'm
tough when they have to explain like the Steve from Gloucester saga or like the Greg thing with Danny, and it's like, all right, everyone really fucking already knows this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little frustrating, but I thought he was okay.
Well, that's a big question. Do you think Greg will ever answer the phone?
That was that was what I was gonna end it off. Do you think Greg's ever gonna answer? You think no?
So bad. I think he will. I think he will.
That would be
sick of that number calling him every day. It's like
that would be awesome if Gus's first guest he books is Greg.
What an accomplishment!
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Great. Like that's what he should be working at. Oh,
next big question is Greg going to stay on the phone, or is he just going to hang up?
Well, are they calling him with a blocked number?
I think it's just Coleman's number.
I think it's just Coleman's cell.
Yeah.
Okay, but they left him a voicemail the first time, so he probably knows now.
Yeah, I really would love, because I want to hear his side of the story, and like I would love to hear his side of the story, and if they can rekindle their friendship, I don't know, but the guy like Danny was such a pussy move not going to that.
Oh, absolutely, but it'd be funnier if like Greg on the air was like, "No, I'm not going to forgive him. Fuck him."
Yeah, fuck
that would be best case scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that guy.
You would think by now, if he lives in the air, like he's from the same area, like there has to be crossover. Like someone must know who this guy is, right? Like whatever, however many listeners, like there must, if he's from Mass area, he must be able to put two, like, I feel like someone has reached out to them, especially if like someone knows Danny. Oh, Danny went on the show, and then they're like Danny's friends. So like I think he has to be aware of it.
Oh,
But do
I
you
think he's
think-
100% aware.
Yeah, but do you think there was stuff before that even where Greg was like already on the edge with him, and that was like the deal breaker?
Maybe.
I mean, that's the
maybe.
one thing he did wrong, and he totally disavowed his friend from that. Like, there had to be.
I
some
think
shit
it could have
before.
been like
be
too,
the wife,
the wife like didn't like
The new
Danny's
wife.
or something, and then it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's
Yeah,
personal.
yeah, true.
Yeah, but that's it for me. It was you know, it's holiday season's approaching. It's a lot of stuff's coming up on the network. This is usually where Maynard comes in and he says the next episodes. There's probably a Mount Kirkmore.
Yes.
Quantum Kirk. What's the next Mount Kirkmore?
So we're recording tomorrow. We got Steve from Gloucester, and
Wow.
McFuss came up with this idea. I think it's pretty good. It's we are doing Sopranos characters who are most like KMS characters.
All right.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
That's
I think
not bad.
that's good for Steve, you know,
Wow.
Oh, for sure. He's a
as a Paisan. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. I wonder if you're doing sorry, say it again. KMS characters that are
Like
Or
Sopranos characters. So like Tony being Kirk.
Tony being Kirk for sure.
Yeah.
That's good. Cullinane being Vito or Coleman being
No,
Vito.
yeah.
Coleman, Vito.
I'm not tipping picks, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess so.
that's immediately what I thought too.
Yeah,
Coleman's
for
good.
sure.
Mick Bate is on KMN. I hope so. The Mick Bate thing, if Mick could pull this off, because the guy never pulls off anything. If Mick could pull this Mick Bate off thing, this could be really good. I'm interested. I'm interested in this. So, anything else from you boys?
Nope. I think-
Braun, go ahead.
Real quick, if you didn't listen to Mount Kirkmore, we did flameouts. Can you just rank real quick whose is better? There's three of us. So It was me, John from Scranton, and Vodka. Mine was the flameouts. I had DEC, DJK, Nustin, and Brittlebone Ted. And
wow.
And then John from Scranton had Carano, Kelleher, Blind Mike's groupie, and Pelletier.
Okay, that kind of tough last one.
No, maybe it wasn't that. And then
You don't have these written down.
no,
Going up the
and then
top.
Vodka had Brandy Love, Trung, Yellow Shirt Guy, Jerry Callahan.
Yeah, that was the
Freddie
worst
Lynn.
of the three.
No, it's definitely the vodka sucks. No
Oh.
talent loser. Vodka sucks. That's what meme said. Also, Freddie Lynn said Carano is the priest from The Sopranos.
Oh, he is.
It wasn't Pelletier. It was John Stewart. John
John-
had.
Oh, well, he's
John
dead.
Stewart,
so-
he's dead. I kind of
Yeah.
like John's list. I would have picked, but his fourth is bad. But
Blind Mike's groupie is a big loss. Like, she just vanished. And then, what was the other one you said before that?
On John's list?
Yeah.
it was Kelleher, Carano, Blind Mike's groupie, and then
Oh,
John
before-
Stewart. I think
before
two.
that.
What was yours again, Ron?
DEC, DJK, Alistair Black, Nustin, and Brittlebone Ted.
Oh,
Ted
Ted,
Sellers.
yes.
Yeah, I had you as the
Oh, I-
winner.
I wanted those
I-
wheels in the graphic.
Yeah. No, Ted's
No.
gone. Him and
Yeah.
Blind Mike groupie for me are like the
If
two
John
that-
picked a legit number 4, I think he has it, but I'm gonna go with Ron's list.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely
People are saying
wrong.
team 2.
Team 2, the top 3 in team 2 are like Blind Mike's groupie. Those what do you call them? Nips? Those titties? Those titties.
Heavies.
Those are heavy hitters.
Heavy. I think John from Scranton called them the heavies.
Heavies.
Those
yeah.
heavies.
That
I remember once Steve on the OG Minifan show. Steve from Providence like, "Oh, can you come on for a second?" It was me, Steve from Providence, and TJ Hubbard, and then he brings on Blind Mike's groupie, and is like, "Oh, we're doing a double date with you guys right now," and then he's trying to do like a dating show or something. It was
Oh, Jesus.
wild, crazy.
well, that's what she flamed out from the from the original Miniladies show in the middle of that. They said it today. In the middle of the dating show that she was doing, just gone. Middle of the, she did like 2 dates. They talked about it. I think she said they didn't go well, and then she was just gone.
I think there was like a weird guy that was like sending her flowers and shit or something. I don't know. But look at that. We got
that would have been another person.
We got the
would have been Tara from the Minilady show.
Are we being played off?
Matters is playing us off because I can't wrap this up. So the Axe is access. Thank you, everyone.
Oh my god.
Are you guys going on Maynard's Live?
I don't think Maynard's is here. The CEO is gone tonight. A day off. He's working hard. But thank you, everyone.
It was a good time. Thanks.
Great to see you guys.
Good talk.
Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we wanna go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You wanna be with DC and our aim in a hand. The host can't see it's Mike and the Minifans. And nobody's seen real MHB. This whole thing is a sham. You never see him pee. It's Mike and the Minifans.